everyone, welcome to LJ Spurs Chat. Sorry I haven't done a live for a while, but had to do one tonight after last night. Joining me tonight is Big John and Simon. Thank you for coming on, lads. Hope you're well. Let's crack on straight into it. Unbelievable away European performance from Tottenham Hotspur as they emerged victorious with an often backs-to-the-wall display in tough conditions. The noise at the Frankfurt Stadium was often deafening, and add to that the rain lashing down made conditions even tougher, but they produced a professional, gritty, determined display showing togetherness, heart, desire and the will to win against the odds, as many had written them off before the match. Individual performances such as from Romero, Van der Ven, Udogi, Bentancur and Vicario stepped up when it mattered. Maddison risked personal injury going into the challenge, which resulted in the winning penalty, which Big Dom Solanke calmly slotted home. The striker also once again showed tremendous work, running himself into the ground, sacrificing his own personal aspirations for the benefit of the team. Although picking out those players mentioned, the team as a whole gave absolutely everything last night to get through to the semi-finals, knowing a defeat would end what has been in truth a disastrous season for Spurs. With the team at near full strength, they limited Frankfurt to no real clear-cut chances until the last 10 to 15 minutes, where, yes, we did ride our luck at times. Poor finishing from Frankfurt's Christiansen in particular, and a brilliant save from the same player from Macario's foot. But fair play to Spurs. They earned their luck, and until that last 15 minutes, they were relatively comfortable as they was in the first leg. They looked a lot more solid, and this back four and goalkeeper were playing together for the first time since December the 8th, which does go to show what a season of unbelievable injuries this squad has had to contend with. Sorry, Danny. Danny's drawn this. So Spurs march into the semi-finals. And they'll play Bolo Glimt from Norway. We won't get a better chance to proceed into the final, which would be quite remarkable considering the season the Spurs have had. Big Ange saying post-match that when we've the spine of the team all fit, we are a good team and can beat anyone. Those words were echoed by Solanke and Vicario after the game. We've all been critical of the manager and the team this season, but let's give credit where it's due. So what's your thoughts, guys, on the performance? And dare I ask, can we win this competition? Hello, Danny. I'll see you, Gav. We'll start with you then, Dan.
Evening, mate. You all right? Oh, brilliant. Do you know what? It's typical Spurs, isn't it? Let's face it. It's I've made it quite vocal that my opinions on Ange, and I don't like him as a manager, but as a person, yeah, I'm sure he's a great bloke. But I think last night he changed a few things, and I think he showed a little bit more of a relaxation of himself. He didn't seem so uptight and as worked up and as stuff and all that. Like, I just think that last night for me, that performance been season.
Yeah,
I don't know. And do you know what? I shout out to the Spurs fans, because fair play to them, because they've been travelling all over the world watching Spurs up and down the country in the Premiership, and they've had to endure absolute dross all season. And I just think that the time's come now, and I think the team he put out was probably the strongest he could put out, give and take a couple of players that I would have preferred to see him, but obviously he's the manager, so he knows best. But yeah, fair play to those fans that travel around and all that. I just think that it was a performance that the lads and the players, they needed that. The players actually needed that more than anything, because we've blamed Ange and we've blamed Levy for so long now, and me. I've been guilty of it for so long now, blaming them, when actually the players have actually had an easy ride of it, really. At the end of the day, they are the 11 players, the subs that are on that pitch for that game. So when they are not performing, to a certain extent, the manager needs to get them up for it, but the players need to be held accountable. And last night, the players dug out for everybody. Do you know what I mean? The challenges that are going in, backing each other up when there's a little bit of needle. And I mean, I love that needle. I mean, I think Johnson's a right pussy, but I'd like to see him getting his foot in there and then having a smile on his face, winding people up, because that's the way I used to play. I love all that shit. It broke up play last night against Eintracht. Do you know what I mean? And Tottenham don't normally do shit like that.
No.
But to wind another team up in their own backyard, that's what they need to be doing. They've got a good squad of players. So, yeah, I'm not going to drown on about it. Listen, I'm happy. It was a good performance last night. And for once, I didn't actually feel that twitchy about it, even when we went 1-0 up. I just didn't feel twitchy about it. I thought we may need a second goal, but I just thought that it just felt different last night. Something just felt different about the team, everything. And I just wish that we go on for this game and we just take it into Monday. Whatever it is, he'll change things up. I know he will. People need a rest and all of that lot. I just want them to take that spirit that they've had from last night and a bit of pride into finishing the season on a high and basically taking that all in there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And so, yeah, no, it's good. Good result.
What do you reckon, Simon? Oh, Danny, you might want to sort your Wi-Fi out because you're breaking up a lot there, my old son. What do you reckon, then, Simon?
It's probably because I'm sitting in.
I'll follow on from where Dan left off, and this is the critical test, is what they do next, because every time they've put in a performance this season, they've followed it up with an absolute sack of shit. So what we need to do is build on that performance and move forward. And I feel like last night's performance was built on that back five. And we feel like a different team with that back five in place. Now I'm gutted for Spence, because you probably could slot Porro out and put Spence in that, and it would still be as good. But you've got to have Mickey and Cootie at the back in the middle for it all to work. And everything. And I thought that, I mean, Bentancur, when he's on form in front of those two, he's the best defensive midfielder we've got, and he was putting his foot in everywhere. He was covering the yards, and he was making life easy for the defense as well. And I thought he did an absolute cracking job. We still don't look fantastic going forward. In the final third of the pitch, we don't really create that much, but I always felt comfortable when they came forward that they weren't going to get anywhere.
Yeah, it's fair play. That Bentancur.
So, I mean, hats off to Ange, because I have, from like the least Angel at the set all the way up to Christmas, I've probably become the most Angel out of all of us. And I guess last night was tactically, he actually did what we needed to do. Go away from home, keep it tight, nick one, and just don't look in any danger. And I don't think I've seen a defensive performance like that from us all season. With Ange, it's always been like attack is the best form of defense.
Yeah.
Whereas this time, that whole performance was built on the defense and built on Bentancur protecting that defense. I mean, everyone up top. If Tell had a bit more confidence, if Johnson had a bit more confidence, that could have easily been 2 or 3-0.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Sam, I'm going to say something now, and I'll let John answer it. You're saying there that basically Ange got it spot on. But my opinion is this, and as I say, John, I'll let you answer this. I don't think it was him getting it spot on. I just think that we were forced to be on the back foot. And when you look at the games that we've had before, like when we beat Man City and we beat Man United and we was unlucky against the Scum, I just feel that when we're forced to be pegged back, we're at our most dangerous then. And I don't think that Ange purposely went out there to actually keep it tight. I don't. I was happy with his substitutions because he did make defensive and tactical substitutions like the Danzo one.
And that's what I mean. When we needed to tighten it up.
I was happy he done that. I just think that he hasn't got it in him, has he, to go out there and say, right, lads, blah. What do you think, John?
Do you know what? The first 3 minutes of the game, I thought they was all out of fucking position. And then as soon as they started coming at us, I think you're right, Lou. I think they forced us into playing a certain way, and it suited us really good.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I just think that but like Simon said, when he brought on, who was the other sub that he made? But when he brought Danza, because it was really
He
weird.
brought
'cause
Sarr on beforehand.
I said to Harry, right? I said to him, if it was me, I'd bring Danza on and go to a back five. He will never do that in a million years. That's what I said, and he went and done it. I don't think anyone would have done that. Do you know what I mean? And it did work. I'd like to think that Ange would learn, but I just can't see it because he would just keep going. And I don't. What do you think about his comment, Dan, when Ange said after when we got the spine of our team, we are a good team? Is he trying to convince himself, or is he just? I don't know about him too, but just too arrogant. He's not.
I mean,
when,
the thing is, when you look at it about all of that stuff that he's coming out with, it's the first game that he's been able to come out and not blame something or a person or VAR or whatever. And I know he spoke about VAR, and me personally, I said to you last night straight away, I was straight on my phone to you, and I said, that is a definite pen. The goalkeeper has not played the ball, he's played the man.
How long did it take to come to that decision?
It's ridiculous, mate. And for the referee to actually look at that, because when you actually look at where the referee was, he was right behind it. So those little things that Ange is talking about, yeah, okay. Christ, we're not the only team to have had a bad rub of the green with VAR and decisions throughout the season. And yeah, we may not have had the rub of the green across the whole of the season. And it was not. I mean, last night I don't think the ref was that good. I mean, they were flaky. Like they were flaky last night. They all over, and I think. But it was nice to see that he wasn't have to come out and say an excuse about things and blame players and whatever and all that. Like, I don't think him turn around saying first team players around because we've had them out. He can't say, yeah, okay, we may not have had it at that stage or this stage of the season. At one time, we've had a decent squad out there. Do you know what I mean? We've always had a nucleus of players. That's what your squad's about. Do you know what I mean? You get 3, 4, 5 players that are injured. I just don't think he's right in saying that's the first time I've been able to play the back five. Because to me, I mean, I heard today, flipping on the last word, that they were saying that Udogie had been the man of the match over 2 games. Not in my eyes. Not in my eyes at all. If I was going
last night.
Yeah, no, I think he did do all right last night. Yeah. I think that's because we were a bit more defensively sound. I think for me, he looks for a scapegoat too much, Ange, instead of just embracing it and taking it on the chin and just going, yeah, okay, I've messed up. Now, we all know he's not going to do that. We all know he sticks by whatever he says, he's going to stick by it. I just think that last night, I mean, he was jumping around. That's the first time we've seen emotions from him. Do you know what I mean?
That's probably because this is the nearest he's been to the sack.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it shouldn't, to me, Simon, it shouldn't take that. He should be ranting and raving on that pitch, no matter what game it is, even at a friendly. If he wants his team to play a certain way, he can't just stand on the sidelines and not do anything, not give them directions. Do you know? This is me. This is how I coach and how I play. You haven't got eyes in the back of your head. So I think that he's playing on his last swim. I don't think if we win it, I don't think he will stay.
You don't think he'll stay? That was my next question. So if we won the Europa League, you don't think he'll stay still?
No, I don't think. I think that it's got to the stage now. I mean, yeah, okay, we could go and win that cup, right? Because I think that, yes, on our day, we have proved that we can beat good teams, very good teams. It's just how our players want to turn up, I think, a lot of it, and the mentality. And I think a lot of it is what comes down to, that's what it comes down to, the mentality of our players. I just don't think, I just can't see him being there the next season. Because do you think that the board is going to take another season of being like it is in the Premier League and say we should win it, we're in the Champions League? We can't be like that. We can't be so up and down.
This is the problem with having, in my opinion, not footballing people on the board, right? Because if someone was to ask me that, I'm going to ask you all in a minute. I've asked you, I'll ask Simon and John the same question. if someone asked me, well, if you win the Europa League, Lou, do you want him to stay? I'd say no. The reason is, I think that the so-called Ange ball, and it wasn't Ange ball last night, but the so-called Ange ball, which has worked for him in all those countries, does work, but it only works against mediocre opposition. When you come to the elite football, it don't work. That's just.
But they were saying that today. It was a typical Ange ball game. Well, that was, as far as I can see, that was as far from Ange ball game last night. So what are people? See, this is people's different perspective on what they see in the game. Do you know what I mean? I had loads of mates that were out there last night sending me bloody pictures and crap and all that lot and loving it. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, like I said before, I've been open about not wanting him. I like it as a bloke. Yeah, I'm sure he's good, but as a coach, do I think he's going to take us to that next level? No, I don't. Who comes in? I don't know.
Yeah, Simon, would you keep him if he won the Europa League? Would you give him, say, another 6 months in the league next season?
No.
And
the reason for that is he's not going to get the players he needs to play the way he wants to play. He needs 2 players in every position to be able to run it into the ground.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have that, and he's not going to get that. So we need a manager who can work with what they've got, because that's what they're going to have.
Yeah.
We might add a couple of more youngsters and another senior pro, but we're not going to get. We need probably 7, 8 more players to be able to play like Ange wants us to play, and we're not going to get that.
No.
So,
good comment, yeah.
We haven't got 2 Van der Vens, and it just proves how needing we are of 2 Van der Vens. We just haven't got that.
Johnny, if he wins the Europa League,
if he wins the Europa League, that's a big if, to be honest with you, Lou. But if he wins, does it entitle him to stay?
People might say
him to stay because, as Simon said, we do need 2 players up front, 2 players in the midfield, 2 players in defence. Yeah, I said that in a previous video.
Yeah.
And if you ain't going to get them, then what's the point of keeping him?
It comes back down to Levy in the border game, doesn't it, with all the managers that we've had?
Yeah, do you know what? I've got a feeling they're going to fucking get rid of him at start of next season anyway, just because of the league, you know.
Yeah. Well, let's concentrate on that. Let's give you a bit more info. This Bode Glimt have won 8 of their last 10 2-legged European ties. Their quarter-final victory ends a run of 4 straight defeats against Italian opposition. But the Norwegian side have only failed to score in 2 of the last 26 European games. Last season, their home record on that artificial pitch, I didn't know that until last night, was 1-10 drawn 4 and lost 1. See, that worries me. Everyone's saying, we're going to piss it and all that. This is Tottenham, isn't it? They couldn't beat Tamsov on the pitch. And that really does worry me. Does it worry any of you lot? I think we've got to win 3 or 4-0 at home.
Ultimately, we just got to put it away in the first leg.
Yeah, that's what I think, yeah.
Put it beyond doubt.
Yeah.
And that Tamworth game was a pretty strange game, wasn't it?
But like, it's Tottenham, you just don't know. But I am going to put my neck on the line and say that we will get to the final.
I'm quite confident of us beating them over, of getting the job done in the first leg. I just think that, and I know I looked at them earlier actually, and I was speaking to the lad, and I said, "Christ Almighty, they've done Galatasaray in their backyard.
Yeah,
they've beaten Lazio. Do you know what I mean? Did they beat Frankfurt, or did they draw with them, or in the league phase and everything?"
Yeah.
But when I looked at the draw, once we got out of the league phase, and I turned around and I said to Zach, I said, "You know what?" I said, "If we want to get to the final, we have got to beat the top teams on our side." And we've done that so far. We've done it in all sorts of manners and on how we've done it. And I just think that if they take anything out of this game going into the next game, which is in a couple of weeks' time, that manner of that display, they get that job done in the first half. My only concern is, and I know it's going to be a different game, how many chances we actually give to Dominic Solanke. The amount of work rate that he does, we don't actually give a lot of chances to our strikers at all. We rely on...
You don't get any.
No, he's unserviced, isn't he? An unserviced striker.
And that's my only concern. I mean, they missed headers last night for what? I mean, we've been quite good at corners and stuff and all that lot. So we could have won that. We could have been 2 or 3-0 up, I think, out of the way with a couple of headers. I mean, Romero's header, Bentancur's header. And you look at those chances, I just don't want to be going into that, playing in that artificial turf, that 4G pitch. I mean, Christ almighty, they're saying that, I mean, they can fit the whole capacity of their bloody town in Tottenham Stadium. Do you know what I mean? And it's nothing to take nothing away from them because they're no mugs at the end of the day. They're no mugs at all. They will come out and they will have a plan of how to play against Tottenham. They would have watched. I'm sure they were doing the homework. I am confident of getting there. My only worry is that we're going to end up playing Man United in the final.
That's what I said earlier, and we'll lose because of the law of averages because of this season. Now it's gone. I said that ages ago. Who stood out for you last night then, John? Because I've got to say, until the last stupid challenge, I thought Romero and Bentancur.
Yeah, I thought Romero come back. He's coming back to form, and he's slowly.
Yeah, I think he overhands that performance, didn't he, last night?
Yeah, Bergvall. I just love Bergvall for some reason. I'm loving him, watching him play. Yeah. Dog is coming back into form. We didn't miss Son.
No. And a lot of people was moaning at me about Tell, and I said, listen, he's only young, but at least he was trying to go at the fullback. He got past it sometimes. Right. He lost it sometimes, but Sonny wouldn't even go past it, would he? He'd pass it back.
You know what? He needs more minutes, doesn't he, Tell? You know, he needs a lot more minutes. I'm a bit opposite with Bentancur. I didn't like him yesterday.
You didn't like him yesterday?
No.
I thought he was good. It's about opinions. He was brilliant yesterday. There was a bit in the first half which I shouted at the telly because I've got a bit of a nick, and I even shouted at my boys' team for this. I hate it when anyone at any level in football tries to run it out of the back. You know, when you're surrounded by attacker, just get rid of it.
He did that once, didn't he?
He done it once, and I was like, "Don't do that, because that could ruin the whole of your performance." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who stood out for you, Si?
Well, I mean, I think the defence as a unit, we just didn't look under pressure at any point. And it was interesting because, Doggy was doing his inverting, but then when we were defending, we had quite a solid four. And that was much more of a performance by Romero than we've seen in recent weeks.
Yeah. And
there was that time where Mickey, like Etikite, is a fast boy.
Yeah, he caught up.
Yeah, he caught up with him, and that's what we need. If we're going to keep playing a high line, you need Mickey fit, and I think that's why Ange has just been reserving him just for these European games, because Mickey got asked, "Well,
I watched that interview.
What's up? Why aren't you playing?" He said, "You got to ask the gaffer. I'm ready." And
I can understand why Ange ain't doing it. I'd probably be the same, to be honest with you.
But yeah, I thought Bentancur protected the hamstrings quite well.
Hamstrings, John. Yeah.
I thought that Dominic was up there, putting him under pressure early. The problem is that our wide players weren't up to much at any point in the game. We took Tell off. We moved Decky wide, and it didn't get any better over there.
He looked like 2 games, didn't he, Si? Decky.
Yeah. But yeah, and you look at how I can't believe how young Bergvall is and how calm he is all the time. He's one of those players that always looks like he's got ages. No matter how tight the space, he always looks like he's got time. Yeah. And that's a sign of a class player.
He's been offered a new bumper deal. They know he's an absolute baller, isn't he? I mean, he makes mistakes sometimes, but he's 19. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyone stand out for you, Dan? Or is it just more of a thing?
Do you know what? I liked, and I sent a team to you. I said, this is what team I would like. And it didn't have Vicario in goal. I'll just do a quick sweep from back to front. Vicario, I just think his distribution is absolute shite. As a shot stopper, he improved. His shot stopping and reactions is absolutely brilliant. You cannot fault the man for that. I mean, that ball was in the back of the net, and what's he done? He's dived, he's stuck his leg, and it's hit. Do you know what I mean? He makes himself big. But his distribution, how many times was he kicking that ball? And I'm thinking, put your fucking laces through it, boy. this ball's going up in the air and it's going out over to the left. You can see it's a bit windy and a bit wet out there. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, Danny, just interrupted 1 minute there. Do you reckon that, because I said that last night to Harry, I said, are Spurs kicking it a lot more longer themselves, or do you think Ange, because Ange has always said he'd never change his ways, but there was hardly any playing out from the back. Do you reckon the players themselves decided that?
Listen, I don't think we're ever going to know that fact, are we? He definitely won't come out and say it, because that's going back on his word, isn't it? That's going back on Ange's word. I would like to think that the players may have gone, do you know what? If in doubt, let's hoof it. Let's get it out. We don't want to be losing.
Playing out from the back, was they last night?
No, there wasn't. And I don't think I'm not being funny. Their front three are rapid. You don't want to be messing about passing a little flipping ball that's a little bit flaky towards your.
Oh, I was happy to see it, Dan. Don't get me wrong, I'm not moaning about it. I was happy to see it. I hate it when they do that. Give me a heart attack.
Your centre halves. Praro had quite a solid game. He wasn't as inverted and as up as high as what Udogie was, and I think it kind of like made it a back three a little bit more. Romero, after Sunday, he couldn't be any worse, could he? So I thought he stuck his foot in there, and he showed a bit of a mature defensive display last night.
It's that last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
I like that. It made me laugh, he does.
Yeah. And Van der Ven was himself. Udogie, I thought he was solid. Bentancur, for me, basically the player glimpses that we seen of him when we first got him, in my eyes. Because I do rate the player, and I think it's only injuries that have set him back a little bit. But he impressed me last night. He protected the back four. He didn't make as much. Bergville was his normal player. I felt that Maddison was just starting to dictate a few things. Because I said to you after the first 5 minutes, I messaged you. I went, "Oh, there we go. Look, Maddison's adopted his familiar left back role, where he picks up the ball in that left back slot." Now I don't know whether it's something that Ange, and that really frustrates me, because I see it. I can see it every single game, and to me, he needs to be as far up that pitch as possible, because he is our player that's going to dictate. So I thought he was starting to come in until he went off. I don't think we should.
He was really dictating the game.
He was, wasn't he?
And he was getting, when his teammates were making wrong decisions, he was getting really frustrated. You could see he wanted to get on the ball and really make something happen. It was a shame that what happened to him happened, really.
Definitely. I mean, he took one for the team, didn't he? I just think that the area that really, really grates me and lets us down is our wide players, Tell and Johnson. I know we've been critical. We've won the game, for God's sake, but other than, I can't remember much about what Johnson did, to be honest. Other than one run that he made, and then I could actually see him after he'd made that run, and he was going. He looked so out of breath. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, mate, you've still got about another 55 minutes to play.
Johnson needs Son on the other side, because pretty much I'd say 3/4 of his goals come from balls from the other side from Son. And Son knows how to pick him out. And he seems to be the only one that's on that wavelength. But he's the only one that picks those runs out, it seems.
Yeah. I felt it's a bit harsh on Tell, to be honest. I think he's a young lad, and he doesn't know whether he's coming or going at the moment, I suppose, and he's been in and out of the team. So you just don't see too much. I mean, okay, they played him last night, but if Odegaard had been
I was waiting to bring Odegaard on, and I was hoping.
Yeah, I thought he could have exploited them a little bit with his speed. Get him on the turn. Because that Christensen was on a yellow, wasn't he? So I was expecting him to send him in and go and say, go and get him sent off.
The thing with Tell is, do you pay 60 million for him? No. From what I've seen,
no.
If the loan with the obligation to buy was 30 mil, 35, then probably but
I'll tell you what might happen. Bayern Munich don't want him. I think they're going to go in and say, look, we're still undecided. Can we sign him on a season-long loan or till the January window? That's what they'll say. Another loan.
I don't think they'll go back for him.
Yeah, I reckon they'll give him. This is pending if Ange stays. But by the way, because I think Ange likes him, so I think but he won't want to buy him. And if you pay 50 million for him, then you're a dinlow, aren't you? Let's be fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's harsh, really, isn't it? Because he's coming in the window, and we don't want to be too critical of the young lad. Do you know what I mean? He's only 19, but he hasn't really. I mean, he grabbed the ball last night for the penalty, and then you could see flipping Ange on the sideline going dom 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 dom. Now that might have been part of the plan. Do you know what I mean? A lot of teams do it these days.
John? Would you keep Tell at the end of the season, John, or give him whatever?
I'd keep him, yeah.
What, on a loan? Another loan?
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't spend 50 million.
I wouldn't pay that much money for him because he ain't worth that much at all. But I'd keep him.
No, you're right.
I think he's showing glimpses of quite a good little player.
Yeah, you just got to give him time, ain't you?
Yeah, I'd love to keep him, but not at that price.
Not that price, no.
My thinking is that Yang's going to come back at some stage. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would rather Yang come in from his loan and start performing. That's what I would rather do. I would rather have him in there.
Whoever's in charge for next season. I mean, I've been saying it even before last night. You know, I have, and John will know when I've done videos with John. I've been like cussing our wide players for so long because this system, the Ange ball, if you want to call it, or even if another manager comes in, if you like wingers, we ain't got good wingers. We haven't got good wingers. I mean, we played well last night, brilliant, but we didn't look like we were going to score 2 or 3, did we?
No, they weren't gung-ho last night at all.
No, but
they didn't need to be. They didn't need to be. They got the goal, and that's what they needed.
Yeah.
We rode our luck a lot of time. Do you know what I mean? Shots were coming in. Vicario's made a save. So...
Christian's had 2 massive chances.
He should score.
And missed 2 gilt-edged chances, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think we earn our luck. You earn your luck sometimes. We need a bit of luck this year. So we got next. We've got Forest on Monday.
Yeah.
I'm expecting
after that.
Yeah, I'm expecting. I don't know what you lot. We'll go through. I'm expecting him to probably play a pretty strong team and then rest loads for the Liverpool game because Liverpool might have won the league by then.
Yeah, potentially this weekend, isn't it?
So I don't know what he's going to do against Forest. What do you reckon, John? Do you think but I know he will rest a lot against Liverpool, won't he?
I think he's going to rest a lot against Nottingham Forest. I think he's going to wrap them all up.
He might do, yeah. Well, and against Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might well do.
Liverpool won't win the league this weekend because Arsenal got Ipswich.
Yeah, that's what it counts on, doesn't it?
Well, you don't know. I don't know. It depends
Everyone looks at Ipswich results lately, don't they? Even I've been looking at Ipswich results.
But I mean, it depends what Lego Ed's thinking. You know what I mean? He don't want to risk any injuries, does he? Either. No one wants to risk any injuries, do they? When you're that far into a European competition.
Nobody needs to be seeing fucking Arsenal winning the Champions League because I'm not being funny. Their fans are absolute arseholes, and if they win that Champions League, we'll never hear the end of it.
I don't want to say this, but they've got a good chance of winning it.
They have got a good chance.
No faith that they'll do anything in that. If they get past PSG, which I don't think they will.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought PSG were really good until Villa come back the other day. You know what I mean?
Quarter final, they're all over that. When they're in semis, and they'll bottle it. One of the two.
If Arsenal beat PSG, I think they've won it because Inter Milan and freaking Barcelona, I don't think are any cop. I don't think that personally.
Well, I haven't been watching them, so I've been relying on mates to tell me. And my mate said that Inter Milan are still a difficult team to beat. He said, "Was it Barcelona ain't that good?" But I haven't been watching them. I don't know if you've been watching them, have you, John? I don't know.
I've been watching Barcelona. I think they've been a bit inconsistent. They have patches of playing really good, and then all of a sudden, they're just mediocre.
It's frightening to do because Real Madrid the other night were poor.
Yeah,
but we just got to win Europa League. We just got to concentrate on what we do and pray, haven't we?
The thing with Barcelona is they've still got to get La Liga over the line as well. They're top, but they've still got some work to do to get to win that.
Who's at the top there? Is it Real Madrid and Barcelona? Is it
Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico. And then Bilbao next. And United, United ain't beating Bilbao, by the way.
They're not.
No.
You know Atletico Madrid, are they still managed by Diego Simeone?
I think so.
Yes,
that's
Atletico Madrid.
Come to Tottenham for years. That's what we need. Someone to get right at them. I'd love him as our manager. And apparently there's a Spurs protest for the game against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
So
When's that?
Before the Palace game in a couple of weeks, isn't it? So I did tweet I don't know if you're watching this, Ricky, but I said, I've told John this before, and I said, look, this time, when you do your protest this time, which I do agree with.
Smash some windows.
Well, and that. Don't go in. I know you're going to want to go in, but just don't, even if it's for the first 10 or 15 minutes, don't go in. You know what I mean?
I still think the protest is futile.
It is when you're going to go in after, isn't it?
It's pointless them standing there. Even
it's not really a protest, is it?
Well,
it's not really a protest, though, is it? In my eyes, it's more of a show of a banner and the discontent that we have for leaving the owners. That's what this is. Because if you're protesting, you ain't going in that stadium.
Yeah, you bang on, Dan. You bang on.
You ain't going to go in.
My problem at the moment is that Levy's ponied up the cash, but the recruitment has been terrible.
Yeah,
this is the thing. If you look at the financial situation we're in, the amount of money that he's actually managed to put together and put into this squad is fairly respectable. We're in the top 3 or 4 spenders in this league, but we're just not spending it. Well, I say we're not spending it right. We spending it on the future. We're not spending it on now, and that's the problem. That's what's getting people frustrated. Is that we're buying a bunch of kids who look like they got bags and bags of potential, but the problem is you spend all this. You spend £500 million in three years or whatever it is he's spent net, and you're seeing no payoff from it.
I'll tell you what, Simon, you just eased into my next thing, so I'll let you start this. Yeah, right. Spurs' biggest deals since 2019, right? Just give the thumbs up if he was a hit, lads, or a thumbs down. You can comment, obviously, as well, if it's missed. Right. We'll start from 2009. There's about 15 on here. £55 million spent on Ndombele.
Well, I don't need to say anything on that one.
No, even, yeah.
But the thing is you look at him now, and you look at him before we got him, baller. We have him. Absolute pony. We got about 3 games out.
This is also, I mean, take note of the money what we're spending here. So that was 27 million on Lo Celso.
I mean,
John says no. Danny's undecided.
You get what you pay for. We got £27 million worth of player there, but is it what is it going to take us anywhere? No.
Another 27 million on Bergwijn.
And again,
I'm not at Bergwijn, so I don't think he got enough chance.
This is another one where you look at him before us, and you look at him after us, and you look at him.
You're bang on. It's
like what did we do to this guy?
What did you say there, John? Your thumbs down there.
Yeah.
Bloody hell! Another 27 million on Reguilon.
I what has the boy done? He must have done something to somebody.
I don't know.
Because I don't get how he's still in the squad to this day and doesn't get a single minute.
It's crazy, man.
And again, I'd say, has he been great? Not really. For the money we paid for him, you get what you pay for.
21. Who was it brought him in? Was it Mourinho or Conte?
Conte, wasn't it?
Yeah, it must have been, yeah.
All I'm saying is, under different managers, I mean, to me, Reguilon's a bit flaky. Do you know what I mean?
We need Paratici back, don't we? Simple as that, to get good players because the list gets better.
I think we need fucking Paul Mitchell back. He was our scout.
Right, 21 million, Brian Gill.
And it's all of the. You look at all of these lads, and
they all play different sort of songs.
Yeah. You could put a really solid La Liga team together with these boys. Yeah. They're not Premier League players. That's the problem. No. If you play them all in Spain, they'd have a field day.
21 million, Emerson Royale.
And again, it's 21 million.
He what?
He is 21 million. Again, he played to his price tag.
Yeah. I think he got it in the end, though. I think he got it.
He did near the end, and I felt sorry for him because he'd done it when he had to come in and play centre back and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right.
The one thing you always got is 100% effort.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
you did. Yeah.
47 million. This is going to be interesting to see if he's a hit or miss from you, actually. Romero. I'm going to put thumbs up for Romero.
Yeah, I mean,
how much did we pay for him?
47.
I think
I
in
would take
the
thumbs
current
down.
market, for the player we got, 47 is a bargain.
Yeah.
The problem is that the player that's been playing this past 12 to 18 months isn't the player that was. I mean,
he's a £47 million player, isn't he?
he's probably a 67 million.
I think they'll get 80 for him. I really do.
Yeah, but the thing is, for me, for Romero, you look at where he's been playing, who he plays for, the country, and the style of play they are, and now where's he playing? He's come from Italy. It's historically been slow football. Do you know what I mean? And
I love Romero, like Dan. I love Romero.
Yeah, I do.
But if he goes for 80 million, I ain't bothered because I think that 80 million can be spent somewhere else because I think Danzo's been brilliant since he come in.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So, but I hope he doesn't go, obviously. 29.2 million, Kubileski.
I mean, for that money, you have to say that's a
thumbs up, yeah.
Yeah, he's a bargain.
22 million, Bentancur.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, that's a bargain.
Oh, this will please Danny. 30 million on Bissouma. He knew it was coming, Jack.
Fucking double.
This is the one that I've been most gutted about because
disappointing.
When Brighton have played us with Bissouma in their team, he's literally bossed us, and I'll be like, this is the guy that we need.
All right, so
and then he joined us, and he wasn't that guy.
Yeah, two different players again.
30 million quid's not a lot of dough, is it? So is it still a miss?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he hasn't done anything.
No.
Liability.
60 million, Richarlison.
Oh,
fucking hell. How far do we need to go down?
Yeah.
The problem here is
his mentality. It's a shame.
I saw that someone was saying like we were looking at Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and I'm like,
yeah, I saw that.
Why do we want another underperforming, injury-prone Everton player? We just don't need it.
Yeah.
37.5 million on Porro. I mean, I'm going to say thumbs up for that.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah,
that's not a bad price.
Yeah, definitely
for him.
thumbs up.
That's a fair price for him.
Coming into the good ones, man. This is going to be interesting. See what you say. 40 million on Maddison.
Oh, fuck him.
See,
is he a victim of the system?
I think that's sensible money for him. He just hasn't been consistent enough for us.
I think the system's made him look shit.
I think so. Yeah. 43 million on Van der Ven. I think we all agreed on that one. I love Mickey Van der Ven. This one just baffles me, man. 47.5 million on Brennan Johnson.
I still don't understand how he ended up paying that much.
Until he fell off his chair.
Because we're desperate.
I'm shaking from Alzheimer's.
I'd say we've got there's a decent player in there, but we shouldn't have paid that much for him.
No,
he's not Premier League standard.
No.
Yeah.
If we were buying Gibbs White at that point in time, that's probably a sensible price tag. But I don't think
my mate loves him. But since my mate said that he loves that bloke, I've watched him. I don't like him. It's weird.
I don't like any of these players that wear their socks around their flipping ankles.
Or gloves and tights.
Yeah, exactly. They deserve to get cleaned right out.
Do you remember Mills at school? They'd say, "Get them gloves off." Even at rugby, you'd be wanting your gloves on. No, they wouldn't have it. 25 million, which isn't a lot. Drag us in.
Yeah, I think thumbs up at the moment.
Look, as a squad player, 25 million is the right price tag. I think. He's not a starter.
I think
I didn't like that player whatsoever, though.
You don't like him?
I thought it was dog shit.
He's another one, right? If you look,
it was overripe.
Just beat around the bush, John Chap. You know what I mean?
If you look at how he plays for his country, you'd think Has Dragosin got a twin? Because this guy is decent.
They play a defensive game, don't they?
It's system. It's system again.
And he's sitting on the bench. I'll just say it's all right.
It's system.
Yeah. 30 million for Archie Gray.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. 55 million for Solanke.
How much?
It's just a shame that the goals aren't there. But he's got no service. I don't know what the boy.
Yeah, he's never got any service site ever.
That's what they were saying last night. You can't moan because he hasn't been given the chances. It's not like he's missed a glut of chances.
He won't get the chances though, will he? While we play how we play.
I mean, fair play to him. Well, he was very calm from the spot last night.
Yeah,
he was very calm. So I think you've got to give him as a hit and give him a bit of a chance, haven't you?
I think that to be honest, Angie's system just doesn't work without Dom in the team anyway. No, it needs him pressing. That work rate that he puts in, starting the press from the front, none of it works without Dom in the team.
No. The last one is 25 million on Odeberg.
Yeah.
You got to wait and see, don't you?
We've not seen too much of him.
No. But 25 million, I'd probably have to give the thumbs up if I had to.
Yeah, definitely. It was a bit of a shock buy, wasn't it, to be honest? I'm
hoping that he matures, stays injury-free and has a good run next season, especially if Ange is there, because if we are to do anything, just say for argument, hypothetical, that Ange stays, he's going to proceed with this thing and we need the wingers to work. We ain't going to go and spend 100 million on them, so we need Odeberg to be regular, don't we, and good, because the other wingers don't attack them, do they? We need attacking wingers to get to that byline if we want to play the Ange ball.
And this is one of the things that Tell does. Tell and Odeberg, the only two players that we've got in those wide positions that do want to run at people.
Yeah.
Son just doesn't seem to want to do it anymore.
When Johnson does do it now and again, he is fast. I don't understand. What is it, a confidence thing? I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's running low, isn't he?
If you've got the pay, I just don't get it. Well, it's glad to have it. At least we're in the semis, though, lads. Is there anything else on you?
Nice to see them. It's nice to see the players playing for Ange, wasn't it?
They definitely did, and they looked like there was a lot of togetherness.
Did they, or did they?
Was it for him?
Themselves?
No, they were giving them more cuddles, weren't they?
I think I said at the end of the last. Hello, Harry boy. Do you know what I think I said at the end of the first leg was the players. I think they all got together on their own and just said, "Look, lads, we've had such a shit season. You've been injured, blah. Let's try and end this season on the high." I think they wanted it. I don't think they've done it for Ange. I mean,
as I said at the start, the test of this will be Monday night. Because every time we've put in a performance where you've said, yep.
Is that a way?
That's what we expect from the boys week in, week out. Oh. Let's see. Every time we've had a performance like that, we've been utter dog shit the next game.
It's going to be a funny one, sign it, because I think, my opinion, as I said earlier on this live here, we're better when teams attack us. And Forest are exactly the same. Forest are rubbish if they've got to go forward.
Yeah, but at the moment they're not having the rub of the green. They've lost the last two, and that doesn't mean they're going to. That doesn't mean they're going to come in and trounce us. It doesn't mean. I just think that the wheels are falling off slightly at the moment of Notts Forest, and they're not getting the rub of the green. So I don't think it's going to be an all gone full conclusion that Forest are going to go and thump us. Like people are saying. I
do want him to rest players, but I'd like at the same time, if possible, to keep the momentum going.
I'd say it is completely down to us what the result is. If we show up, I think we beat them. But the number of times we've put in a solid performance and then followed it up with utter garbage is so frustrating. And I'd like to just see the boys start to build some momentum and finish the whole season strong.
Yeah, well, I think this, lads, after the game, we lost 4-1. Could have been more, but the lads, they were tired. They were tired after the Europa League, so it is what it is, mate. That's what you'll say.
They've got an extra day this time.
Hey, John.
Mate.
That's what I can see it now. He's isn't he?
Yeah, but he never faces up. Do you know what I mean? He never looks at the cameras or talks to the people. He looks down.
That's what he's going to say. I don't want to slag him off really, but because
it's not 2 o'clock on a Sunday this week. It's 8 o'clock on a Monday. So
yeah,
he's got an extra day and 6 hours. He's got an extra 30 hours.
I mean, I'm not being funny. He's not out. Ange's nowhere. He's not out of the fucking woods by a fucking long shot. Just because we've won that game last night, we don't know how much was him, how much was the players actually saying, fuck's sake, come on, let's just tighten up a little bit. And do you know what I mean? If he wants to shout and bawl at us and call us out because he ain't going to go on TV, is he, and go, well, I never told him to play fucking that defensive and not go for it.
But you know what's
weird? Do that.
You know, in the past, ever since I've been watching football, in this sort of situation with a club and their manager, and the manager's struggling with her, there's always leaks, or the chairman will come out and give it the dreaded vote of confidence. There's nothing. There's nothing, is there? Nothing at all coming out.
Listen, as long as what we've all been following Spurs, right? We have always gone into a game, I think, with that mindset, we're going to be fucking Spursy. It's something that's stuck with Spurs throughout the fucking years. We've not had many years where we can go, fucking hell, we're going to beat them. We're going to beat them. It's always so much doom and gloom surrounding us, leading into games and going into things. Oh, this player wants to leave. This, that, and the other. For fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? Something along the line in our mentality for the club needs to change. We need to have a positive mindset and to say, because at the end of the day, we've had this season and it's always been the manager's going to go, who's going to replace him, constantly in the media. The manager's getting things fired at him. The players are getting things fired at him. Do you know what I mean? The fans, he's getting on the fans. There's always been little elements in the club that have been having little bickers at each other. And it's always been that. And I think that's always the Tottenham way. That's how it's fucking been. And I just think that we need to change that. The fans can start changing that by not getting
top. It's just like the mentality does start from the top. Just say Daniel Levy woke up in the summer and spent brought in 2 world-class players at 100 million each. Bang, there's your mentality, right, lads? You know, that's how easy it is with the money what they've got. But they'll never do it.
No, he won't.
Owners. Look at the managers that we've had. We've had some exceptional managers. And like you said, I think it was Simon said earlier, he ain't going to get the tools. And his system might work, but he needs 11 players on the pitch. He hasn't got a plan B. He's got Ange Ball plan A. He needs another 11 players to come on or to be able to come on to keep that plan A going. You ain't getting that.
But that's Conte. Conte all over. He let it go in that conference. Spurs, the whole thing about Spurs, he let it go. He said everything about the mentality, not wanting to win, being flaky. I don't want the responsibility. He's right. Exactly. He's right. But yet we've still gotten a manager down the line from Conte. Do you know what I mean? And things are still the same.
I think we should set up a consortium, John. Put some money in, you know.
Either that or a fucking hit squad. Get some mercenaries in.
Oh, it's good though, isn't it? Yeah, it's good to have you all back on. It's good to be in the semi-finals. The confidence is up. I think we're going to get there.
I'd be amazed if we over 2 legs we can't beat Bodo Glimt. But you look back over this season, and you think there's a lot of things that have amazed me this season that we've done badly. So we're not out of the woods yet, but let's see what we do on Monday, and let's see if we can build some momentum and have a solid
Just a quick one before I go, because I do, as I said, I love Romero. If we won the Europa League, therefore we'll be into the Champions League, would Romero stay for another year?
Yeah, he'd stay.
You reckon he'd stay?
I don't know whether he would or not.
Yeah, if it's Real Madrid that's coming in for him, no, I don't. You don't.
It's Atletico Madrid, I think, coming in from the side.
It's Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, John. What they're saying.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because he wants to be winning things, doesn't he? Now he's won the World Cup and all that. But it'd be interesting if the club could say to him, "Look, we're in the Champions League now. Just give us another year."
I mean, we already know that if Real Madrid come in knocking for our best player, they get our best player. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Oh well, I thought one of you might say, yeah, definitely stay. Well, John tried.
I did try. Yeah.
I like defenders like that don't give a shit. And every time there's a bit of shit, he's straight in there. Then as he's really getting there, he fucks off.
Well, this is the thing, right? If it's Real Madrid come knocking, I say he goes. If it's Atletico, he's got a decision to make. If we're in the Champions League,
yeah, but I think it's the Argentinian connection there as well with Simone.
Yeah, we need Simone to come over here, like I said. We do. Well, thanks for coming on, though, lads.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Good one tonight. We're gonna win the cup. I can feel it.
And Andrew will get his second season trophy. There you go. Job's a good one.
Imagine that, because then he'll get sacked.
And then he can leave and he can say, "Well, I did."
It's who we are, mate.
Yeah, it's who I am.
The thing is, like, I'd be quite happy with that. I'd be happy for him to win the cup for his, and then go. Because I know his tactics don't work in that, but I haven't known an injury crisis like this ever. I really haven't. So he has been up against.
Bad, isn't it? It has been bad.
He has made some colossal mistakes though. So it's more than one error of judgment, ain't it?
Yeah.
Well, boys, thanks for coming on. And
right, good to see you all.
I'll see you very soon.
Yes. See you later.
Adios.
Bye, guys.